Today I'm reviewing power banks from Voltme. I have 4 different models. They have different shapes, different sizes, different capacities, and different charging speeds. I'm going to break down the differences between each one, and I'm going to test them personally. So I'll be traveling with 2 iPhones, 2 iPads, a MacBook Air, a MacBook Pro, a couple of pairs of AirPods. I have a lot to charge. So this is the perfect time to test these out. Because for me, traveling is the #1 time where I'm going to need these. If one of my kids' iPads runs out of juice, that's not going to be fun. So first I'll go over all of the specifications, then I'm going to test everything out and report back. All right, let's do this. Okay, so this is the Voltme Hypercore series. So we have the Hypercore 10K Pro. Look at how small that is. The Hypercore 10K Sling, it's got a little strap. The Hypercore 10K Essential, and the Hypercore 20K. So these three over here in the 10K series basically has 10,000 mAh or milliamp hours, and that's essentially the capacity, how much charge it's going to give you. The 20K series, which you've probably guessed, has double that capacity, 20,000 mAh. So this is basically twice as large as all the others. But then there's charging speed, how fast your device is going to get charged. And if that's important to you, then the Pro stands out. This little Pro has 30 watts fast charging. The rest of them are 22.5. So fastest charge, largest capacity. Now talking about the Sling, I said this was a strap, but it's actually a built-in USB-C cable. So with the Sling, you can actually charge 3 devices simultaneously. So that's one unique thing about this one. The rest of them have a USB-C and a USB-A, so you can charge 2 devices simultaneously. So what do these capacities mean to you? They actually have pictures on the website that show different devices and how many times you can charge them. So they have what looks like an iPhone Pro, and it says you can charge it 2.4 times, and this is with that 10,000 mAh. They show something that looks like a Samsung Galaxy Ultra model that says 2 times. They show AirPods you can charge 18 times. And what looks like an iPad Pro 1.5 times. Now I saw a similar picture for the 20,000 mAh version. For instance, it says iPhone 14 and it says it can charge that 4.5 times. It also shows that you can charge a Samsung Galaxy S23 4 times. So it's a lot, it's twice the capacity. Now the faster model claims to be able to charge an iPhone 15 to 60% in 30 minutes, which is pretty fast. But I'll be testing it myself on my iPhone 16 Pro Max. But anyway, these are great. I really like how small and fast this one is. When you press the button, you can see the indicator light showing how much battery is left. I also like the little orange accents too. The Sling 2 is very small and compact. It fits right in your hand. It has the extra power cable. When you press the button on the side, oh, I like how that indicator is part of the E in Voltme. That's pretty creative. Then of course you have the Essential, nice lightweight. It's a little taller than the others, and the indicator light's on the bottom. And then the big one here, the 20,000, also has the indicator light on the bottom. And this one is a little heavier than the rest, but it's still fairly light. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm going to test these out, and then I'll come back for the second half. I'll likely be wearing a different shirt too. Hey everyone, I'm back. I told you I'd be in a different shirt this time. So right after part 1 of this video, I actually went on vacation, which was perfect timing. And it was a real vacation with planes and everything. So I really got to test out all 4 of these power banks. Now, if you look at their claims on how long it takes to charge devices and how much capacity it has, it's pretty spot on. Since most of my tests were really similar to Voltme, I wasn't gonna sit there going through excruciating tests over and over, because they're pretty on par with what's advertised. But I have some of my own and a lot of anecdotal information. So just to recap, these 3 guys are 10,000 mAh, and the big one is 20,000, so twice the capacity. So for most of these guys, if you have a regular smartphone and you're not letting it drain all the way down to 0, you can probably charge it to full twice. I'm not letting my phone run down to 0. It's just not who I am. But if you are, then these big phones may be like a charge and a half. So to be on the safe side, for most smartphone users that don't let their phone drain much below 20%, you're probably going to get about 2 charges per power bank. I was using this guy a lot and I wanted to test out the fast charging speed. I have an iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is a larger battery device. From 20% up to 70%, it took about a half an hour. From 20% to 100% took more like an hour and a half. As far as this big guy, I mean, for my phone, it could probably charge it like 4 times. But again, not from zero, from about 20%. I actually had a rare thing happen where my MacBook Air was down to 0%, and I plugged it into this thing. It did take a little while, but it charged it all the way to 100%, and this still had some juice in it. So there's a lot of power in this thing. Also, on the plane ride I was on, I had a kid to the left of me and a kid to the right of me. Both had iPads. I would use this on the first iPad. It hits 100%. Plug the second iPad in. So again, there's a lot of power in here. I used it to charge several iPhones, a 16 Pro Max and a 15 Pro. I used it on an older iPad and an iPad mini. I used it on an iPad Pro, and I used it on my MacBook Air. If you're trying to choose between them, I would say what's more important to you, having your device charged as quickly as possible, in which case you would go with this one, or having the most amount of power, which is this one with the huge capacity. And then there's this guy, which has a few features that the others don't. So as you can see, these 3 power banks have their specific unique advantages. And then there's this guy, which I don't really understand why you would get this one. There's no extra features. And to make your decision even more difficult, these 3 are all about 20 bucks. I mean, they range from like 20 to 22 bucks for any of these 3. For 30 bucks, you have the 20,000 mAh model, and this thing's just a beast. It holds so much charge. So it really depends on your priority. Do you want your device charged as fast as possible? Do you want as many charges as possible? Or do you want the ability to charge as many devices at once as possible? And yeah, just from my personal experience over the past week, if I wanted a quick charge, I would use this one. And if I was gonna be on the airplane, I would go with this one. And really, for like 20, 30 bucks each, you could get 2. I think they're all very well made, quality devices. They're very reliable. They charge quickly, and they're very useful to have, especially on vacation. So big thumbs up for Voltme power banks. And of course, there's links in the description to purchase these on Amazon. Well, that's it for another review. If you like this video, please give me a like. If you have something to say it in the comments. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.